Hello BookTube. Today I'm going to be doing the this and that tag. This tag was created by Evening Reader, and I saw it on Steve Donahue's channel, so I'll leave links to both the channels in the show notes down below, as well as a copy of the prompts. So let's get going. Paperback or hardback? I'm going to go with paperback. I like both, paperback and hardbacks, but I think I tend to prefer paperbacks. I have far more of them in my collection, and really the only hardbacks I have are the occasional used book that I pick up or new releases. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter is crap. So by default, it's Lord of the Rings. So I've tried to get into Harry Potter a few times. And it's not good at all. Now, maybe if I were 10 years younger, 15 years younger, and I came to Harry Potter in the right age, in that age range, the middle grade to young adult age range that is Harry Potter's target audience, maybe my opinions would be different. Assuming I had my reading developed to where I would look back on works that I've read previously, particularly when I was younger, and look on them more fondly with a bit of nostalgia, or just that thing that your childhood entertainments or reading has a special place, which I don't necessarily always have. But then again, I mean, the Lord of the Rings, I'm going with the Lord of the Rings by default because, I really have never quite gotten on with the Lord of the Rings either. Despite several attempts, so. But if I had to pick one, I'll go with the Lord of the Rings. Oh, real books or ebooks? So, I'm assuming real books refer to physical books. And I'm going to go with physical books over ebooks because I just much prefer handling and reading and collecting physical books than I do ebooks. Ebooks just don't have that same sort of feel to them. Now, I know there are a ton of benefits to ebooks. You can store hundreds or thousands of books in like a tablet's memory or a computer's memory. I'm not entirely sure about the environmental benefits. Obviously, tons of trees have to be felled to produce the paper for the books, but there are components of computers and tablets and e-reading devices that are highly toxic. So I'm not entirely sure which environmental problems trump the others. But it's just, I've never, like, that e-reading bug has never caught me. Buying or borrowing? I used to borrow quite heavily from the library. In fact, most of my reading would have been library books up until early 2020, when the pandemic started. Since 2020, my book acquisition has been buying. I buy all of my books now, which is pretty much why my collection has ballooned to over 1,400 books. And I'm not complaining. It is like my one hobby. So, anyway, so as of right now, it is book buying because I haven't gone to my library in 3 years. Over 3 years. Since it hasn't been since 2020. Read in bed or in a chair on a sofa. I've never really read in bed, largely because I tend to want to go to sleep or do other things. And so, yeah. So it's the sofa, which I guess could be a chair. Library or bookstore. I buy my books online. So if I had to choose between the two, I would go with bookstore. Again, I haven't gone to a library since 2020. So, yeah. Nonfiction or fiction? Excluding manga, it's nonfiction. I used to love fiction, but I don't know what happened, but in 2020, my reading tastes radically changed, and I fell hard for history. And my reading has never quite reverted back to fiction. And in fact, my tolerance for a lot of the conventions of fiction, the gimmicks of fiction, I'm a lot less patient with them than I was previously. And that's kind of bugs me because I'm unwilling to go to fully commit to cut fiction off or certain aspects of fiction off. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's been going on for a few years now, and I guess it's the reality of my reading tastes versus some part of me that resists it. And I've never quite worked that out, despite numerous attempts to on camera and off camera. Print or audio? Print. I do not like audiobooks. New books or old books? Both. I have developed a fondness for new releases in history and also manga, but also like picking up used books as well. So it's both. And finally, short chapters or long chapters? I tend to prefer short chapters or mid-length chapters to long chapters because sometimes the long chapters can just go on and on and on. And if they're not snappily written, it could be fatal for one's enjoyment of the book or gleaning any information from the book, depending for what reason you read. So that was the this or that tag. Or is that the this? This is either the this or that tag or the this and that tag. I'll find out once I get to Evening Readers channel. But anyway, BookTube, if you would like to do this tag, consider yourselves tagged, and I will be back later this evening with weekly reads, which is going to be a story of a weekend and a work week, one of which stank, the other which was very good indeed. So anyway, BookTube, until I see you then, thank you, have a great rest of your afternoon, and stay safe.